allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A roll call for the board members. We have 4 present, and Dr. Jackson will be reporting this evening by phone. Okay. First up on the agenda is approval of the item, or agenda and the items to be tabled, postponed, or removed.
We just have one under personnel, and it is indicated on the agenda with a strikeout, and it is 3B. And I ask M3B to be removed.
All right, do we have a motion for approval? Ms. Keene will make the motion, and Mr. Hall will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on March 9th, 2026. Do we have a motion for approval? Mr. Hall, Mr. Nelson will make the motion, and Mr. Hall will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, delegations.
We have no delegations or recognitions this evening.
All right, next up will be conduct the annual meeting with Creed Collins Elementary School, Electrical School Improvement Council per West Virginia Code 18.5-14. This works.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here this evening. As many of you know, and my staff, I was driving here on my scheduled date and I got very ill. So I appreciate the reschedule. And I'm just not glad that I got ill, but we got some data today from our 3rd and 4th graders that we added that was really exciting. So maybe it was meant to be, I guess. Anyway, Mr. Clevenger and I have been working on our PowerPoint for some time now. And like I said, it's a working document. We've been adding to it as the day has progressed. LSIC members, if you are a current member, would you please stand? Ms. Darty is our chairperson, and Mrs. Lamp is our service personnel rep. Thank you guys for coming this evening. Attendance. Improve student attendance is a goal, our first goal at Creed Collins, through a tiered system of support. Our goal for the end of the year is to be less than 12% of chronic absenteeism. We were, Ms. Shepard, what was it, 5%? We were 5% chronically absent, which is like never heard of at our school until the flu hit. The past 3 weeks have been really hard, and we're up to 8.9%, I believe, chronic absenteeism. But that is still really low for our schools. So we're very proud, and we've been working hard on that. And community and schools liaison, I attribute 99% of that to. Ms. Shepard works very hard on our attendance. Demographics in attendance progress. We are at 8.9% chronically absent. 29.3 is the dark blue, and that is 90 to 95% attendance, which is still very good for elementary students, especially when they first come to school. They seem to get a lot of illnesses, especially when they're little. But then 62% of our students have 90% and higher attendance rate, which is also excellent. What strategies do? We do attendance prize baskets, surprise attendance days, and something that we're very proud of stealing. We stole this idea from the middle school. They have little brag tags that they put on their book bags. Our kids love them, and we stole the idea from the middle school, and it's been working very well. They like to be recognized and have the little tags on their book bags that say, hey, I have great attendance, or whatever they earned. It might be the student of the 6 weeks. Oops. Reading, Mrs. Wood. I have a picture of her in here. It's a good one, a small group. Our goal at Creed Collins is to improve student academic achievement success in all courses of study through high quality instruction and personalized learning. Our goal for reading is that 60% of our students at Creed Collins will meet targets on the end of the year summative assessments. Well, shoot. Sorry about this, guys. Early literacy and focus. We are striving to improve our early literacy outcomes by providing science of reading backed instruction. We strive to improve our reading fluency for all our students. This is Miss Dalton working with, as you can see, the ES sound. It was really cuter in person. Early literacy. DIBELS. This is the middle of the year DIBELS data for grades kindergarten through 3rd. Letter naming fluency. 59 students, 59% and 67%. Letter naming fluency is where the Ritchie County Schools is. This would be Harrisville and Smithville scores, and this is where we are. Does that make sense?
And you're combined in that one too.
Yes, and I'm combined in that one as well. I didn't make that. But Creed, Harrisville, and Smithville are the 67%, and Creed is the red. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, almost 60% of our students are fluent in letter naming. In phonemic segmentation fluency, we are 61%. The county is at 78. 53% of our correct letter sounds, the county's at 65. Words read correctly, 58% of our students, 68 countywide. And the anomaly is that we were higher than the county, which Jacob and I have talked about, and that is oral reading fluency. We were 57% and the county was 52%. What are we doing to strengthen our read? We are doing 95% group phonics lesson library, phonics screening inventory, and progress monitoring. We are increasing our letter name fluency for kindergarten through 1st grade. We are increasing our correct letter sound fluency for K to 3. And in the middle of the year, Mr. Clevenger, myself, and Miss Sonia Hott worked extensively at redoing our entire schedule at Creed Collins. And you know how little people are easier to adjust to things as opposed to the big people, which I love you all. It took a couple weeks, and everybody's on board. Everybody got into the sync of it. We're doing great things. What we basically did was we went in and revamped our schedule to give it an extra 30 minutes of tiered instruction in reading. And we had great results today. So it was worth the effort. A lot of hard work by all my staff, Jacob, myself, but it is worth it because we want to do what's right for our kids. Oops, did I go one too many? I think I did. Okay, Creed Collins Elementary School historical 2 to 4 iReady reading data. Okay. There's vocabulary, literature, informational text, and then overall score. Okay, this is vocabulary, and that was middle of the year 23, middle of the year 24, middle of the year 25, middle of the year 26, okay? And then our vocabulary today, today was 54, huh?
That's last year.
Oh, we're in 26, right? 25, 25 was 54%. Today,
That's your projection.
That's your projection.
that's our projection, was, and the year 26 is 57% for vocabulary. As you can see, we're climbing. Literature. As soon as you say literature, they go, ugh, because it takes time. And I went to, I think it was Miss Cram's room the other day, and they said, which one are we doing first? I said, reading. I said, and they knew. Miss White said, no, we're not going to whine about it. We're going to work hard. Literature, the middle of the year 23 was 36%. We had a good year in 24 with our literature at 48. Then the next 2 years, we stayed steady at 39, middle of the year. Middle of the year, end of the year for literature for last year, end of the year was 46, and our projection is 56. Informational text, you can see 2 years in a row was 31, 35, then we took a dip, middle of the year 26. End of the year of 25 was 41, and our projection is 47. In overall, middle of the year for iReady 2 to 4, 36, then 28, 37, 38. The overall end of the year was 53%, and our projection is 54. Again, what are we doing to work on increasing these scores? A new schedule, increased Tier 2 and Tier 3 instruction, top score writing, and Kansas writing. Creek Collins Elementary School general summative assessment projections. This is just for 3rd and 4th grade, okay? The middle of the year 25, 32%. End of year for 25 was 39%. Middle of the year 26, we were at 34%. Our school projection for the end of the year will be 54%. And that is 3rd and 4th grade combined. Our goal is 60%. And we are projected to be at 54%. 3rd grade, you can see the end of the year was at 38, and then the middle of the year was only 26. The 3rd grade projection is 44. 4th grade, middle of the year 25. End of the year, 4th grade 25. 4th grade, middle of the year was 42%, and they are projected at 65. Letters training for staff. I have staff here who are currently doing the letters training. Raise your hand. I know Sarah is. It's a highly intensive training to strategize early reading skills. I know that Ms. Swiger is doing it as well, and Ms. Dalton. Am I forgetting anybody? Oh yeah, Mrs. Jones, Elena, yes. Now, this is the slide we're so excited about. Jacob and I did this today. See, Jacob is smiling. We had a really good day. Like, I almost started crying. Good day at Creek Collins. 3rd and 4th grade iReady reading skills. This is what we did today, okay? As you can see, this is the middle of the year scores. 37% of our students were accurate where they needed to be. 37 were at Tier 2%, and Tier 3 was at 26%. Tier 1 is where we want everyone to be, okay? Look where we are today, 54% for our Tier 1, and we have so many within 5 to 10 points. It's really crazy how close we are to being towards our goal of 60%. And then 40% at Tier 2, and the tier I am most proud of. only 6% of our 3rd and 4th graders are in Tier 3 support. We were at 26%. 26% on the middle of the year, and we have dropped 20 percentage points there. So my staff and students are working hard. That is a big, big jump to get out of Tier 3, and so we are so proud.
So my understanding is that with your tier,
Sorry, Mrs.
That's
Hall,
all right.
my finger.
that if you have your tier 1, the way you do your projections is it's tier 1 and half of tier 2. And
Yes.
that's how you determine. So you're saying your goal of 60%, where in reality, if you look at this, it would be 54, and then half of the next one, which is 40, which would be 20 more. So with that, the numbers you got today, it looks like your projection could be even higher. Does that make sense?
There it goes. I couldn't get that bar off. I'm sorry. That's what I was trying to show you. I was so excited. The outcomes, we saw a 17% increase in our Tier 1, which is exciting, and a 20% decrease in our Tier 3. Our Tier 1 students plus half of your Tier 2, it's usually where we are, historically speaking. I mean, that's the whole county. Usually you'll take half of your Tier 2. So if we take half of our Tier 2 and all of our Tier 1, that amount likely to meet standards on the GSA, we went from the middle of the year being 55% to today we are looking at 74% proficient projection on the GSA for our 3rd and 4th grade, and that is for ELA. So today was a good day. I mean, I have bragged on my students. I even sent a text to their parents. I did. I said, without you, we would not be here. I kind of put it back on my parents a little bit, you know? We need you. We need you to be their first teacher at home and be their cheerleader. And they are. Every single 3rd grader and 4th grader was at school on time, except one, and that's because the mom had a flat tire. And they were there, they were ready, and I'm so proud. So this was exciting. I wouldn't have been able to show you this in February. Numeracy. Now we're getting into the math. Tomorrow is our math, so we're excited about it. Our goal is 60% of our students will meet targetives on the end of the year summative assessments. Here's historical K-4 iReady data math. And this begins the middle of the year 23. This is all middle of the year except for the end of the year data. As you can see, we have progressed over numbers and operations. In 23, we're only at 38% middle of the year. And each year we improve. 26, we were at 42%. The end of the year of 25, we were at 68% in numbers and operations. And our projection is it will be at 79% at the end of the year, iReady math. So it's a high number for us. That's a really good projection. And in algebraic thinking, we took a dip from 25 to 26 by 1 point. And then at the end of the year, algebraic thinking was 54%. And our projection is 67% for this year. Measurement and data. Middle of the year is really hard on measurement and data because our staff hasn't gotten to it. So that's why you'll see these low numbers, except this was a pretty good one for 25 middle of the year. But this is typical, 38% for the middle of the year. They haven't taught it yet. It's right before we start the 2nd semester. And the end of the year, we ended at 57%. We're projected at 68% this year. Same with geometry. Kindergarten starts out with it, geometry, but your higher levels don't. And you can see, we were at 38% into the year last year, 36% into the middle of this year. Our projection is 58%. And overall, middle of the year, this looks like an uneven stair steps. 23, we're at 31%, 24, 28% at the middle of the year. Middle of the year, 25, 41%. We were only at 35% middle of the year. Last year, we ended up 51% at the end of the year, and we are projected to be 69% proficient in K-4 math by the end of our year. Something that we have incorporated through Mr. Clevenger is spring math. It's whole group remediation. It's Mr. Nelson will like this. It's skill and drill, and it's basic computation. It's to try to get children more fluent with their math computation skills. It's working very well. iReady math lessons, strong core curriculum. We love the math and use curriculum. It is so efficient, and as teachers use it with validity. Raise your hand if you went to the regional numeracy training. I know Miss Wood did, Miss Cram did, Miss Swiger, Mrs. Jones. The ladies went to the regional numeracy training and came back with awesome ideas, and they also obtained grants for their classrooms. How much was it, Mrs. Wood? They earned $1,000 to buy materials for mathematics for their students. The end of the year general summative assessment projections in numeracy. Okay, this was the middle of the school year 25. We were at 39%. The end of the year of 25, we were 59%. The middle of the year this year is 40, and we are projected at 59%. Tomorrow will tell us a lot more for our 3rd and 4th grade. I look for this to be higher. I really do. We've really been pushing math. I feel confident. Don't you, Miss Post? She's our 4th grade math teacher, Miss Cram. I feel tomorrow will be a stronger projection even for this. 3rd grade, middle of the year, 25 was at 38%. They ended 51%. 3rd grade this year, 31% middle of the year, and they are projected at 54%. Middle of the year for 25 for 4th grade was 39%. We ended 4th grade last year with 66%. And as you all are well aware, our 4th grade last year was #1 in the state. Not just us, but Smithville and Harrisville. So, and Jacob and I've talked about it, if we're on the same trajectory, and we think it's going to be close again this year for our 4th graders. So we've worked hard. Great job, guys. Middle of the year, we were at 48%, and we have a projection for our 4th graders to be 64% proficient in math. Walkthroughs. I have conducted with my safety team and the custodians 14 safety checks. Really, honestly, that's just the ones I put in the computer because Delphine tells me something I need to do every day. And she is our safety leader. And so that really should be higher, but those are the ones that Ms. White has documented. I have conducted 30 cleanliness walkthroughs with our custodians. And as of today, I've met my goal 84% of conducting classroom walkthroughs. So I've been in the classrooms 236 times, which I'm really proud of. Do I want it to be 100%? Yes. But I'm getting there. I try really hard each week. So I'm very proud of that number. Proud of what I'm seeing in this blue too. What do I look for? I look for instructional practices being taught, curriculum pacing, student cognitive engagement. As you can see with the safety walkthroughs, security of our school, safety labels, documentation. Are we doing our drills? Are we making sure our children are safe? Cleanliness walkthroughs, overall school cleanliness. What do we see when we walk up to our school? What do we see inside our school? Mrs. Haw asked the principals to come up with something that was unique to our school. And I really feel Creek Collins' uniqueness, one of our things is our social studies fair. We are so blessed. We make it mandatory for our 3rd and 4th grade students to do it. We do it as a grade. And just getting them, these little people, to stand up, give a speech, could write an abstract, talk about something that they've learned about, it's commendable. And this little one, in her EMT outfit, is Sydney White. She earned 1st place at regionals, and she is going to represent Creek Collins at the state. And then Hadley Beck earned 1st place at regionals, and she is going to represent Creek Collins at the State Social Studies Fair. So we have 2 little ones going, and we're very proud of them. The ones who went to regionals, every single one of our students placed 2nd place, and then the last one we had was honorable mention. So every student we sent to regionals earned a place. Oh, okay, wait a second. No one told me to use this. This is also unique to Creek Collins. Wait 1 second. Oh, no. We do the West Virginia Pledge every morning. Well, forevermore, I'm so sorry. Crowd doing it, and they just stand there. 2 weeks they have it. It's just a real easy pledge, and we want to make our students as proud of West Virginia as we are. Do I have any questions before I go on to our video?
No, are you ready? Okay.
Good job, Mrs.
Did that myself.
Coach,
I went to a principal's meeting and I said, I did this. I don't think any of my principal friends believe me, but I really did. But thank you all very much. It's also an exciting night on our board agenda. We're finally getting to hire Mrs. Chang, hopefully in a few minutes. So we're really proud of her. She's worked really hard to get where she is today. So thank you all very much.
I always like to brag on my former students, and that would be Diane and Abby, but Mrs. Hott always beats me because she said she had them all in high school.
I was her favorite field trip.
Oh,
That's right. My first or second day of work as a student teacher, or a subbing, took me on a field trip. That's all my story.
Thank you all for coming. You're more than welcome to stay and continue the fun with us. Or you're excused to leave now if you want.
Thank you all for coming, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Don't call me, say you're not coming.
So move on. Next up will be the superintendent's report and academic updates.
I just have a few things for you this evening. First of all, there's been such discussion this year about the weather and about calendars. And so, as I mentioned to you at the last meeting, we had the right to ask for a waiver. It was the week that we were off because there was a state of emergency. We were allowed to ask for 4 days in the waiver for student attendance because one of those days we used was an NTI day, and you could not ask for a day back for instruction that you had already had instruction. So we were allowed to ask for 4 days. In front of you, you guys have the first letter we got back that says that our waiver had been approved, and then we got the number of days waived that we had asked for. So we got 4 days back, and what we needed, even with the day we missed, a week or so ago, because it won't go away, March 17th, we needed, guess how many days we needed? 4 for students, and with those 4 days we got, then the student calendar remains exactly the same. So if you look at the second sheet that's in front of you, it's got blue on it, and it is what we posted, and it says student waiver was approved, that they will have spring break. It will be March 30th through April 6th, and their last day of school will remain May 27th. So you have that information. However, everything that we have been given, which comes from the state, also reminds us that employees have a 200-day contract. So our employees will work the Monday and Tuesday of spring break, and then they will have, their last work day will be June 2nd. So their calendar is adjusted for those 4 days. So I just wanted to make sure that, because you guys get those calls, if you have anybody ask you those questions, I wanted to get that to you. Also in front of you, I've given you a summary, and I think I gave it to the newspaper too, and that is events for March, April, May, and June. And this just lists activities, whether it be the high school play, the SAT for the sophomores, the GSA testing week, graduation. It has a number of just things that will occur March, April, and May. I give this to you normally about the second meeting of every month. I went ahead and gave it to you last February, the second meeting, and so this one, the second meeting. I'll update it as we go through. A couple of changes that I've added to it. The high school has set the day for the plays. The public performances are on here. And because I know you guys start looking at your calendars and what you want to participate in, that's on there as well.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What about June the 12th and 13th? What is that?
That is if we have any new board members,
But not us?
not you.
Okay.
It's for new member training. But I'm glad you mentioned that. I stuck that on there, so when we do get a new member, that is the School
Okay.
Board Association, their first meeting.
All right.
And then I also added there, if you look on our transportation building, and this will be the segue into the next thing I have to say, our transportation building is to be complete June 23rd. at this point. If it stops snowing and raining, that's our hope. Then in front of you, you have a drawing of the transportation building. And then to the right of that drawing, you have the colors that have been chosen. The building is the drawing to the left is a much lighter blue than what we would use. If you look to the right, it is a navy blue. Do you see where it says roof? It is a navy blue. All of the scales, the garage door is gray. The outside of the building is gray. We're painting up right above the doors. That will be navy blue, and then the top will be gray. You'll look at the second picture below. That's the window seals. They're like a gray, kind of has a gray running through like a countertop as well. And then any kind of cabinetry in there is also in gray. So the building's going to be gray, blue, and white. And I just want to give you an update. Also, I'm having them design something, and we'll get a layout soon of it that will say Ritchie County Transportation Department on it. And the completion to this date, we're about at 20%. We're not moving very fast, but they still say that they're on schedule to be finished June 23rd. We have a meeting every 2 weeks. I have another meeting this Thursday about it. I think if they could get 2 good weeks of weather, they would get the walls up pretty quick, but right now it's been hindering us some. So I wanted to let you know that. And I'll go stay with transportation.
I got a question though.
Sure.
It's for Mrs. Hattie's. Is it pronounced roof or roof?
Roof. I say roof, yeah.
Just clarify.
Just clarify. So, as you know, we've been trying to, work on our fleet. This last week, we received one of our new buses, and today we received our second new bus, knowing that I have 4 ordered, but it takes 2 years, at least it has till this point, to get a bus. We got the bus today and it had a light on it, so we had to take it back. So, so we're hoping to get it back tomorrow, but you'll see 2 new buses on the road pretty soon. We're excited for the drivers to have those. We'll take the oldest 2 off the fleet. Some of them will become the sub buses that we use, and some of them will be removed completely from the fleet. So I just want to let you know where we are on that. And today, we had our opening meeting with the principals of Smithville, the middle school, and the high school. We are having our special ed audit. You have it, I believe it's every 3 years. We had our opening session today. We had to answer some questions. We've been working for the last month, sending in documents that they've asked for. They make sure that, that they are checking not just for state expectations, but also for expectations federally, to make sure that that is the task of the group that will be coming in. They will be at Smithville, at the middle school, and at the high school. And then on Monday the 30th, they'll do a follow-up with Sonia Hott and myself to let us know how we're doing in areas, give us feedback on how we're doing in special ed, things we could do to improve, things we're doing well, and then we'll do a follow-up with you all to let you know. So I just wanted to let you know that we've been working hard to get to this point, and they're here actually now in the county and will be in our schools. And then the last thing that I have that I want to say is, I talked to Mrs. Kearns today, and I've contacted the people at the State Department. Mrs. Kearns has done her part of the video, and she's been asked some questions, and it went very well. And then they'll be to Harrisville soon to do the second part of the video. So they said they weren't too nervous, but they asked him a lot of questions and visited their school and stuff. But they had a good day. So that's really all I have. Any questions, comments? Thank you.
All right, next up will be director reports. Mr. Clevenger, our chief instructional leader, will be first.
All right, good evening. I will start with a monthly attendance update. You should have in front of you the attendance chart that you receive monthly. Some of this information, even from what Mrs. White presented a little bit ago, has changed a little bit. It changes by the second. As someone who had 4 people with the stomach flu over the weekend in their household, I can attest that it probably does knock kids out of school for a day or two. I had my wife, myself, and 2 children all had it over the weekend, so I believe them when they say that. With all that being considered, though, even with the bouts of illness we have had come through, our overall county attendance rate has maintained fairly consistent. We've actually improved a little bit from the last month when we presented it. It's down to 13.38%, which again, for us, anything under 15% is very, very good. We would like to see that continue down towards the 10 mark, but we also understand that that's a work in progress. This time last year, we would have been excited if it was under 20. This year, we're excited that it's under 15, and we'll continue to work on that. All of our schools are around the 15% mark or a little bit higher. Harrisville had some illness come through, and they snuck up to the 16% mark, but I would anticipate them to be back down to the 15% mark like the other schools as well. Smithville's continues to be exceptional, 2% there. Then the overall attendance rates based on the percentage of kids that are in school each day, most around the 94% mark. We'd like to get those close to 95%. Smithville's is at 96.4, and the county's is at 94.36. Again, we'd like to see that around 95, and that mark varies as well. As far as the regular attendance rate, those are kids that are here 95% of the time. Our district one, we would like to see around 60% or a little bit higher. And right now, that mark is at 58% for us. So we're close to getting there. As I've talked before, we know that kids being in school is the #1 indicator of them being successful. So the more they're there, the more we have the opportunity to teach them. So just want to provide that update on attendance. The second update I have is on our outdoor recreation camp. We will be offering that again this summer, and I just want to kind of give an update on that. That program does have a limited capacity. We'll cap that somewhere around the 150 student mark. Right now, when I checked it, when I got here this evening, it was 142, and by the time I checked it again, we're 145. So we're getting close to that mark where we'll be cutting that off, and then having some conversations with families and saying, okay, are you coming 1 week, are you coming 2, and then from there, maybe opening up a few spots, but we're getting pretty close to capacity on that camp, which we typically do. That's very well received and very well attended by students throughout the county. So wanted to provide that update as well. Next, you should have a letter in front of you from the state, from State Superintendent Michelle Black, regarding West Virginia Impact Grant Opportunity. So we had received a letter from the state. It is dated on February 4th. We most certainly did not receive it on February 4th. We received it sometime last week. So we kind of got on a meeting with them to try to figure out as many of the details as we could, which right now there aren't many of. So basically the way that is going, every county is going to get a coach hired to be at a school in the county, not chosen by us, chosen by the state. We have not yet received that information. We just kind of know that this is forthcoming. Based on a conversation we have with them, this is something that eventually they have the intent to put in every school in the state, every elementary school in the state, I should say. So we will receive $85,000 from them, which is a good chunk of money that we will gladly accept. And that information and that person's position will be to help strengthen instruction throughout the county. A lot of the work that I do throughout schools can kind of be someone to kind of follow along with that and take some load off of that and allow me to get to other parts of my job that don't always get as much attention. So we will kind of keep you updated when we get more information on that, but the information right now that we have is the amount of money that is mentioned in this letter, as well as the fact that it is eventually their intent to put this in every single school in the state. Right now they have district or regional people, I should say, that are going to schools in lower performing counties to kind of pilot this work, but they're trying to move it to where it goes into every single school. We will get 1, and then I would say the next year 2 and 3 and so forth. So
one of the things that you all need to know, your role in this, we will bring to you tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight we will bring to you the MOU as a consent item. Then after the consent item, the next thing Mrs. Wagner will prepare, the state will give us guidance on a job description. We will then bring the job description for you all to approve. But it is we're giving pretty specifics of expectations, qualifications. It's not something that we have a lot of leeway in. They have designed this program with the expectation of some training and what skills a person needs to have in order to fulfill this job. And so you all will be involved in that part of this, as far as getting this, and they would like us to get it hired
By July 1.
by July 1, and it will be a position that would begin next year.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is it a certain amount of years, like the community and school?
That will be part of it, yeah, there'll be stipulations, I think there's X number of years, certain qualifications,
No,
degrees.
What he's asking is.
Oh.
He's asking.
I understand.
So it is a grant position.
Yeah.
Just like communities and schools.
Yes.
Is what you're saying. What they are anticipating is that they pretty much said you will guarantee it for 2 years. And then after that, they're hoping to be able to sustain it, but we will know more.
I think it's an evidence-based type of thing, so.
So if they prove it's doing what it needs to be doing,
yeah.
they'll keep it. Yeah.
If it shows the growth they anticipate, I think they've seen growth from the pilots that they've done. So I think if that growth continues like they think it will, then it'll be something that continues to grow and receive funding. Sorry, I misunderstood the question.
That was a good question.
Did you say where it's going?
We are not aware of that at this time.
Are you talking about the coach, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't know where you'll land at?
Officially right now, no.
We've had conversations of where it will be. It will be based on data of the elementary schools, and then they'll specify an area. I look for it to be an ELA position.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, ELA is when we're first in the state in 4th grade math last year, so.
It's not gonna be that.
Yeah, it won't probably be math. So overall, excited about that opportunity. We'll take any of the help that we can get. Even when things are good, they can always be better, so we look forward to that. And that is the information that I have at this time, unless there are any other questions that I can answer. Also, would like to say thank you for you guys who have stayed, and thank you to Creek Collins for accepting me as an honorary member temporarily. It's been a pleasure, truly. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jacob.
you. All right, next up is Ms. Wagner, Director of Personnel and Technology Support and Enhancement.
Well, I'm back and we're talking about technology. I'm gonna leave personnel alone tonight. I was here a few meetings ago talking about this is our year for the iPad refresh. So I wanted to talk about a few things. First of all, you're gonna see later on in the agenda that we're asking for you to approve an amount of iPads as surplus property so that we can sell them back to a buyback vendor. We have approximately 1,465 we think we're gonna return. That number may vary just depending on when we collect those and how well those iPads have stood up and that they're taken care of, and we will sell those back. Then we talked about iPad usage. So we've been meeting with our district leadership team, which involves our principals, to talk about how are our iPads being used. And when we look at that, where do we need them? So on that piece of paper that you have, it talks about testing, IXL testing, we use it K through 12, iReady K through 4, our GSA 3rd through 8th, and then our juniors in high school, starting next month, will take their SAT test on those iPads. Our curriculum, there's a list there, I'm not gonna read them all to you. A lot of our curriculum is now internet-based. They use their iPads to access that, along with skills such as PowerPoint, Word, typing, things they're gonna need in the workplace. Down at the bottom, there's some things that our iPads will do for some of our students with special needs. On the back, talks about some ways that it's used in the classroom. These were gathered from our district leadership team. Communication is a big one. Our students use those iPads to check their WEVAs, to check their grades, to communicate with their teachers, and also on those NTI days. And we have a few that when they have to be out for a while, they can use their iPads for team meetings and to get their work from teachers. So when looking at the usage of iPads and dealing with that district team, we have decided that we would like to do an iPad refresh, an instructional iPad refresh, which means those iPads that we're going to replace would be for teachers, aides, and students. We will also have a new MDM, which is just our, lets us filter and lets us manage those iPads. So this spring, we will start collecting the iPads. We will be collecting everyone's iPad, and so that they all can be replaced and put on this new MDM. The last thing that I'm here to talk about is our professional development for the spring and for the summer. Ms. Hott went over those calendar changes and how our staff have to have their 200 days. So we will have some extra days of professional development. We are working on those now. And the next time I'm here, I will bring you up to date on some of those. But they will all be that we want to focus on instruction and help our teachers find ways to use technology in that instruction. Any questions for me?
All right, thank you. All right, next up is consent items.
As we look at the items that we ask for consent, as you know, with the building of a new bus garage, one of the things that we want to make sure in the coming year that we have someone to clean it. Currently, we don't have that. This building only had someone that was an extracurricular position, and we would also like this position to do some facility cleaning at the middle school, high school. We have a plan for the custodian. We would like to start it this spring and have it budgeted for the fall and to go into next year. So we ask that you approve for us to post a custodian position. I also ask that you approve retroactive an agreement with Communities and Schools and World Vision. World Vision has been a very good partner for us as far as supplying us with things that our children need. They help with our attendance days. They gave us all dinosaurs. They really do, it is a good partnership for our communities and schools. The next thing is we have a teacher coverage that we would like you to approve, as well as a waiver for compelling circumstances for a couple of students at Ritchie County High School. Communities and Schools is going to work with FRN, and they're going to offer a family summer bash at the 4-H grounds on May 30th. We partner with them for different activities. That's one that we will partner with them with your consent to do some an event to kick off summer. And then on the addendum, number 6 is to approve the memorandum of understanding between the West Virginia Department of Ed and Ritchie County Schools to employ and supervise the district school-based coach that Mr. Clevenger just discussed. So I ask that you approve all 6 of those consent items as stated on the agenda and on the addendum.
Okay, we have a motion to approve consent items 1 through 5 and the number 6 on the addendum. Ms. King makes the motion. Mr. Hall will second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, on to policies.
Under policies, we brought to you last week a sample of a policy. We are asking that you waive the reading and approve policy 4290. It's called Safety While Accessing Technology. They call it SWAT. Education program that the state of West Virginia is now requiring. And basically, our policy just mirrors the bill that this came from. So we ask that you approve policy 4290 for SWAT.
Okay, we have a motion to waive the reading and approve the policy 4290. Mr. Nelson makes the motion and Mr. Hall will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Motion passes. On to personnel.
I ask that you accept the resignation of Matthew Harkness. He was the head wrestling coach at Ritchie County Middle School, effective February 19th.
Okay, we have a motion to approve resignation as stated. Ms. King makes the motion. Mr. Hall will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now resignation submitted after publication of agenda.
So we have a couple on the addendum. This time of year, Teresa Bumgarner works very hard in reaching out to people that haven't worked for us and making sure that if they're not certified, that we do get people removed from the list. So you'll see additional like subs at this time of year because one, they don't recertify or they choose they don't want to continue to work. We'll ask that you accept the resignation of Betsy Patterson and Patricia Pinnell, as well as a resignation of, and those were both sub-teachers, and then a cook who was filling a leave of absence, Ashley Chapman. I ask that you accept those 3 resignations.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the 3 resignations as stated. Mr. Nelson makes a motion, and Mr. Hall will second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, appointments or transfers and rescissions.
We have one also that we'll pull off the addendum, but the first one is Charles Copeland III for a substitute teacher, Brianna Chang, a kindergarten teacher at Creed, Laura Snodgrass for the summer professional development coordinator, and then a non-paid volunteer assistant for the high school track team, which is Chris Kress. We ask that you approve those employments as stated on the agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to approve under employment, transfers, rescissions, 3A, C, D, and E. Ms. Keene makes the motion. Mr. Hall will second. No, Mr. Nelson, sorry.
I wanted to.
Confusing you.
Yeah, you're confusing me. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. On to payment of bills.
I ask that you approve the payment of bills in the sum of $392,399.87.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the bills of $392,399.87. Mr. Hall will make the motion, and Ms. Keene will second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Financial request for approval.
We have 5 of those this evening. The first 2 are the typical that we normally have, that's supplements and transfers. Under supplements, we have 2 donations. We have one for CIS for some items for students in need, and we have a second donation for a 5th grade field trip. And then under transfers, these are basically other areas of need within the budget where we've set money, but we need to move them to a more specific line item. And that includes a couple of line items for PD, for professional services, for sub-cost. We are moving some salaries and we had money in athletic for services, but we needed a supply, so we're asking to move that amount. And as you look through the line item, all of that is defined for you. And then for Creed Collins, we needed to move a line item. Instead of paying for tickets for a field event, we need to pay for buses. So we need to make that line item adjustment as well. So we're just asking you to please approve those transfers. We also, in 3, we're asking to declare iPads, 3 and 4, declare iPads as surplus property to sell to a technology buyback vendor. We have listed the amount here that we believe we have, and the boys have worked really hard, Matt and Noah, to figure out which ones we need to keep, which ones we need to move on with. But I have added on here, the amounts may vary based on inventory and collection. This is what we believe we are going to sell back, but we won't know for sure till we get everything collected. We will be selling some prior to Generation 7, the iPads and the cases, and then we will sell some from Gen 7 to Gen 9. We also, as Mrs. Wagner mentioned, we would like to purchase the purchase of student employee iPads, Apple Care and cases, in the amount of $678,980.50. That will be for a instructional refresh, which will be K through 12, and the principals would like just a class, like a set of 5 for the pre-K classrooms. And so they said they didn't even. So that's what we are asking you to approve under financial request.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the financial request as Superintendent Holmes.
What gen are we buying?
I like the world.
Yeah, 11 is essentially their A16s.
Say that a little louder, Matt.
The A16 is what it's actually called.
It's called an A16, but it's like, it is the 11, and that's what we're purchasing. But we've had these for 4 years.
It's just saying they're a little bit outdated.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, request for agenda items for the next board meeting. Okay, is there any board member or committee reports? Okay, I'll actually give an update. We had our multi-meeting last week, which was on the March 19th. We want to do a congratulations to Chloe Ramos. She was elected as the state OSA officer. She will report for the school year upcoming 26-27. That's a pretty big accomplishment. We also have the OSA placers from Ritchie County High School, which this is our future health professionals. We have Kirsten Underwood, who finished second place in the patient care technician, and Jasper Stringer, with a partner from Tyler Consolidated, they finished second in the health career display. So some pretty big accomplishments there. Any other committee reports or comments? Denny's looking at me.
Just wait.
Okay, the next regular meeting will be held on April 7th, 2026 at 6 p.m. right here at the Ritchie County Board of Education office. This will also include the annual meeting with Ritchie County Middle School Local School Improvement Council, which will be per West Virginia Code 18.5-14. This meeting shall remain recessed until the statutory meeting scheduled for Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. Do we have a motion to recess at